Hey folks, welcome to another bonus episode of Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth. This is going to be our 6th session of the Glossary, and it's going to be possibly one of the more varied ones, given all of the events that have transpired thus far, if my D-pad would work with me. So, let's have a little kick and see what's up. I also think, for the purpose of giving myself and possibly others a nice wee refresher, is that I'm going to be reading all of these character descriptions and whatnot from the top. Starting off pretty strongly with Entua, an honourable female warrior of Uzurusha. Oshtor killed her father in the campaign in Uzurusha. Though she tried to avenge him, she was no match for Oshtor. Soon after, her life was spared by Haku and Yakwalt, who were pursuing stragglers from Uzurusha. Entua had lost all her drive as a warrior. Her father's last words, urging her to pursue happiness as her own woman, lingered in her heart. Upon seeing that Vurai was pursuing Oshtor, she left the imperial capital to alert Haku and his friends. However, she eventually encountered Vurai instead, near death in the wilderness. Rather than abandon him, she showed him kindness and mercy, attempting to nurse the man back to health. However, she could not dissuade Vurai from his final battle with Oshtor. She watched Vurai's final moments, knowing he went to his death. Oh. Pretty tragic tale that we got. I actually wonder if we'll ever get to see any more of Entua again. Or if her arc is, well, being relatively resolved, I suppose. We'll just have to find out, eh? And hey, the most recent dad has finally appeared in the Glossary. The true father of Nosari and Ogi. Formerly one of the 8 pillar generals of Yamato. He gathered his clan and climbed up to the rank of Pillar General on his own merit, and he was admired by his people as a great leader. But due to Tokifusa's schemes, he was exiled for failing in his duties. After his fall from power, he lost faith in fragile titles and honorifics that could be lost with the slightest sabotage. He chose to live in peaceful retirement instead. He was renowned as an honorable hero with many feats of heroism and military victories. Nosari aspired to match his skill and bravery. In general, he has an easygoing personality and often amuses himself with idle hobbies such as drinking, fishing, and painting. I love this guy, he's so chill nowadays. I'm gonna assume that he was just like that in his pastime as well, when he was a power general. I would hope so. Oh, some more Nekone! Hey, you wee cute munchkin! Younger sister of Oshtor. She's an adorable girl with a childlike appearance. Despite her looks, she's quite intelligent, and her speech is polite and articulate. Though the youngest examinee to date, she passed the Imperial exam, the toughest academic challenge in the country. She is erudite and aloof, but she also loves sweets and fawns on her brother when no others are looking. One of the few sides of her that seems appropriate to her age. At her brother's request, she accompanied Haku and friends, and uses fire-based magecraft to fight in battle. With his last breath, Oshtor entrusted Haku to her care. This would change the course of her life dramatically. After arriving in Enuta, being the only other person who knew the truth of what happened to Oshtor, Haku, she pledged to support him and keep his secret, but it proves to be a heavy burden on her young heart. Overwhelmed by the loss of her older brother, and crushed with the guilt over taking Haku's future from him, she spent many days emotionally closed off. However, in the phrase surrounding Vurai's unexpected return, she realized Oshtor, Haku's, true feelings. and the pain she had carried for so long finally began to dissipate. Oh, that was such an emotional sequence. And it was so well done too. Probably my favorite scene of the game thus far, honestly. Okay, Rouletier. Plus, it was just nice to see a resolution with Burai as well, because he was finally at peace. But, I digress, it's time for this wee sweetheart. A princess and youngest daughter of Ozin, the Olo of Kujiri. She's a bit shy, quiet, and physically slight, being the youngest of 15 siblings, may have had some influence on her development. However, there we go. However, when someone disrespects her beloved Kokobo, her temper flares. After safely arriving in the imperial capital, she continued to stay in the company of Haku and friends. She's skilled in cooking, brewing tea, and making assorted confections, occasionally with Haku's help. She invents an entirely new type of snack, and some of their creations have become quite popular among the citizens of the imperial capital. Man, those were innocent times, weren't they? In the battlefield, she rides on Kokobo, who handles most of the actual fighting. Though she was unable to articulate it, she had feelings for Haku, and when the group was informed of his death, she took the news somewhat worse than the others. Since then, she has become more emotionally withdrawn. When she journeyed to her home country, Kujiri, to request aid for Enuta, her overprotective older sister, Sheesh, was fiercely against the idea of allowing her to fight. But Rouletier showed her own will by opposing her sister. Recognizing this, Sheesh gives her a flute to remind Rouletier of their mother. And Rouletier leaves her homeland with new resolve to accompany Oshtor, Haku, and her friends. Okay, so who's next? Wait, what? No Tokifisa? Dang it, I was hoping for something new of him, because so far, he's probably my least favorite character out of any of the antagonists that we've fought so far. Because, think about it, right? Dekopompo at least was on screen on and off for a while. I may not like him as a person, personally speaking, but I think his character was made despicable enough for you to just dislike him, and I like that aspect about him. Tokifisa, though, just felt rather forced at times to me, so I was hoping to get a bit more about his backstory, but oh well, what can you do? The man is sleeping with the fishies now. Or maybe he'll come back. I mean, this guy came back after all. Then again, this man's a literal monster in more ways than one. One of the 8 pillar generals of Yamato, also known as Burai the Vanguard. His devotion to the Mikado was far more than that of the other generals, bordering on zealotry, and for his bravery, the Mikado had granted Burai an Akurika. He strongly believed that might makes right, and his life's goal was to further strengthen the absolute power of the Mikado. Therefore, he crushed the Mikado's enemies completely, without exception. This often placed him in direct opposition to Oshtor, who prefers to pay respect to enemies and avoid unnecessary casualties wherever possible. Upon the demise of the Mikado, he suspected Oshtor of foul play. When Anju was poisoned, he held fast to his conviction that Oshtor was behind it, and arrested him, refusing to acknowledge the young and frail Anju as a worthy successor to the Mikado. He chose to imprison her. Next, Burai plotted to make himself the next Mikado. He was defeated by Haku and the party, who came to rescue Oshtor, and they took Anju from his custody. However, Burai was enraged. Left alive after the battle, he believed that Oshtor had taken pity on him and refused to finish him off. In his final duel with Oshtor, Burai unleashed the full power of his Akurika, but they were equally matched. Driven back, Burai ultimately fell from a great cliff and disappeared into the abyss below. He was discovered by Entua in the wilds, in a state of near death. However, she nursed him back to health. Once he regained consciousness, he did not return to the Imperial capital, but decided to cast off everything for the sake of one more chance to exact revenge upon Oshtor. Thinking to avoid causing collateral damage, Entua lured Oshtor, Haku, into the mountains, away from civilization. It was there that Vurai and Oshtor had their final battle. Vurai burned away his life force in the power of the Akurika and spent his final moments laughing in unbridled joy, finding true meaning in his last vow before he dissolved into salt. Okay, that last comment kinda got me. Oh man, well he was pretty salty at times. Hey, something new about locations. Kuon, the Winter Wonderland! I think this is just my favorite locale of the game. Then again, we never got to see Shiahoro. Someday I hope. Please, I want to see it. I really do. I want to see something more than just clouds. Rilletier's home country. A small nation located far in the west of Yamato. It used to be a massive barren wasteland, but the Yolo Ozen managed to reclaim and expand the territory, restoring life to it. It's an outland with poor soil conditions, so the citizens' lives there are promised not to be easy. However, they live in harmony with the climate, managing to maintain clean and pure lifestyles while preserving their culture. When Enuta requested an alliance, Sheesh stirred up some trouble, but Ozen accepted the proposal gladly. Afterwards, he established friendly relations with Enuta, primarily through sending great amounts of supplies. Take account, they don't have the greatest living conditions, and they're in a state of being able to do such things. That is pretty admirable. And that's through hard work as well. Oh, the golden seal, okay. A seal made of pure gold, granted by the Mikado to the 8 Pillar Generals of Yamato. While the badge is a symbol of being a Pillar General, it can also be used as a stamp, and is often used in certification of official documents. Any documents with the stamp of the Golden Seal have legal authority just beneath direct orders from the Mikado himself. Disobeying such orders can be considered an act of treason. So that explains why everybody just follows whoever has the seal. Oh. Chamoku? They're like deers! Large herbivorous beasts with horns that grow larger each year. They are found mostly in Kujiri. They form large groups consisting of one male and many females, and are characterized by their high breeding rate. It is said that every part of the animal can be used for something, like deers. Their horns and bones are made into accessories, their skins into clothes, and their meat into food. The liver is regarded as a high quality ingredient, and especially good if eaten raw, but is also considered quite a delicacy when roasted. Oh, venison is delicious though. I haven't really had deer liver before, but I'm open for trying it. Anyway. Oh gosh, no! No! Isn't this a... This reminds me of that black screen. Ah! Oh well. A wolfen club that uses dyes produced from plants that only grow around Kujiri. Characterized by the brilliant vermilion that is divided into varying shades on every piece, using distinct repeating patterns. The dyes themselves are rare, and due to its quality, the cloth is popular within the imperial capital. It is known to be an expensive item. Anything in miscellaneous? No! And well, there is nothing really in tutorial to share, so yeah, that's it. Well, we got a decent chunk out of that. I was nice getting a wee refresher on some of the characters, albeit I did slur my words just a wee tad, but oh well. It's always nice to read these nonetheless. But anyway, folks, thank y'all for watching this wee bonus episode of Utawarerumono, Mask of Truth, and I'll see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.